When a genius is forced to face the darkness within, there is a kind of person that makes the world ask two completely opposite questions. How can someone be so great? And at the same time, how can they fall that far? Mel Gibson is one of those people. One of the most controversial figures in the film world. In the eyes of millions of viewers, he is the immortal William Wallace in Braveheart, the director of The Passion of the Christ, a religious work that shook the world, the action star who defined the buddy cop style with Lethal Weapon. But to others, Mel Gibson is a man full of scandal, an alcoholic hothead who has fallen into public disgrace, a star who was crossed out by Hollywood for many years. His story is not just one of glory or failure. It is the tragedy of a genius who self-destructed, and also a lesson in rebirth through faith. This story will walk you through his journey. A poor childhood but full of discipline. A road to fame filled with accidents that turned into opportunities, blazing heights with Braveheart and The Passion of the Christ. A shocking collapse after a series of scandals, a spectacular comeback with Hacksaw Ridge, and finally the saving power of faith. Roots, a Catholic childhood, and the decision that changed everything. A big family and the journey out of America. Mel Gibson was born in 1956 in New York, the sixth child in a Catholic family with 11 children. His childhood was crowded, noisy, lacking in material comfort, but full of faith in God. When the Vietnam War broke out, his father, afraid his sons would be drafted, moved the entire family to Australia. A decision that seemed impulsive at the time, but unintentionally opened the path of destiny for Mel. A shy boy, the opposite of his future image, young Mel Gibson was shy, quiet, insecure. No one would have believed that this boy would someday become one of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. But his older sister saw something different. She secretly enrolled Mel in the National Institute of Dramatic Art. That move later became the first turning point of his life. Stepping into cinema when accidents turn into opportunities. The audition with a bruised face. The night before his entrance audition, Mel got drunk and into a fight. He showed up to the audition with a swollen face, a split lip, a rough street look, and that turned out to be exactly what the panel liked. In Mel, they saw raw honesty, strength, a rugged kind of beauty the camera loves. Thanks to that, Mel got into drama school. Mad Max, the first explosion that turned him into a global star. Later, Mel once again got into a fight before a casting, and the director told him to come back when he'd healed. When he returned with a handsome face and intense eyes, Mel was cast as Max Rockatansky in Mad Max. The film grossed over $100 million, turning Mel into a global phenomenon. Lethal Weapon, Hollywood Wanted, Mel Gibson. His role as Martin Riggs pushed Mel into the rank of the world's top superstar. Crazy, but clever, brutal, but emotional, funny yet deeply wounded inside. This is the kind of character Mel didn't just act, he became the character. The great peak, Braveheart, and the legend of Mel Gibson. When Hollywood doubted, Hollywood was skeptical, an action star directing. A huge historical film worth tens of millions of dollars. But Mel Gibson proved them wrong. Braveheart, a fire that never goes out. The film won Best Picture, Best Director, 5 Oscars, and the cry, freedom, became a cultural symbol around the world. The Passion of the Christ, a work of faith that shook the world. The movie no one wanted to fund, no studio dared to finance it. It was shot in Aramaic and Latin. There were no major stars. The story was heavy, the last 12 hours of Jesus' life. It was violent, brutal, and highly controversial. Mel put in $30 million of his own money to make it. Unimaginable success. It grossed $600 million, became the highest grossing R-rated film in history at the time. Created a worldwide shock in religious and cultural circles. Many say that Pope John Paul II watched it and said, "It is as it was. It is as it truly was." The fall, alcohol outbursts, and a devastating crash that ended a golden era. The 2006 DUI, the scandal that destroyed his career. Mel Gibson was arrested for drunk driving. In his drunken state, he made extremely offensive remarks. Hollywood immediately boycotted him, cut ties and contracts, reversed their attitude towards a man who had once been a legend. A decade as an outcast. At the same time, he went through a divorce costing hundreds of millions of dollars. Angry phone recordings leaked to the public. Constant attacks from the media. Mel became a textbook example of the fall of a Hollywood icon. Rebirth, Hacksaw Ridge, and the comeback that silenced the world. Hollywood said no, but his faith said keep going. For nearly 10 years, no one dared to let Mel direct. But he did not give up. Hacksaw Ridge, a spectacular return. The story of Desmond Doss, the soldier who refused to carry a gun but saved 75 men, perfectly mirrored Mel's own journey of faith. When the film was released, the Venice Film Festival gave it a 10-minute standing ovation. It received 6 Oscar nominations. Mel was nominated for Best Director for the first time in 20 years. Hollywood was forced to admit a genius can fall, but he cannot be buried. Legacy. An imperfect but resilient man.
I know I've done wrong.
Today, Mel Gibson has returned to acting, continues to direct, lives strongly in his faith, is focusing on the passion of the Christ resurrection, is preparing to make Lethal Weapon 5. He is no longer a flawless symbol. He is a real human being, fragile, wounded, fallen, but standing again. The lesson from Mel Gibson: even in our lowest valley, we can still rise. Mel Gibson's life reminds us, talent does not exempt us from making mistakes. Mistakes do not have to end our lives. Perseverance and faith can resurrect a person. Mel shows us, no one is too sinful to be forgiven. No one is too weak to stand back up. And no one is defined by their fall, but by how they rise after it. In your opinion, what helps a person overcome the deepest valley in their life? Talent, fame, or faith, and the ability to rise again after failure? And why share your thoughts below? Your story might be the inspiration someone else needs.
Let the light wash away my burdens. I am ready for renewal.